quite passive, recording, not thinking. Someday, all this will have to be developed, carefully printed, fixed. Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to TransVision.
Gifts of chocolate, roses too, and deliberate not confessing I love you. Milky lotion, scented creams, she's the climax of your technicolor dreams.
Welcome to TransVision 2, and opening the show this week is the fabulous Dame Leyla.
Good evening.
Accompanied by the marvelous Matt Long, who is hiding behind the jungle there. Welcome to TransVision. I think let's go and have a drink. That was a very well-deserved drink. Follow me over here, where we're going to not only get a little bit of a view of the studio, but we're going to go to our little bar. Now, what would you like to have to drink? This is Johanna, by the way, and next to her is the fabulous Marie-Charlotte Nouza, who is an artist, and we're going to talk to her a little bit in a minute. But what would you like to have? What have we got? What would you like, Matt?
I'll have a beer.
A beer. And you, madame?
Well, with a big bottle of Campari, Italian, I have to take it. What's it? Campari Quarantine?
A Campari Quarantini. What are we having, Johanna?
It's our bestseller.
Bestseller? Are we selling drinks?
It's the Campari with cranberry juice and champagne.
Oh, champagne. That sounds like the perfect.
Molto bene.
Molto bene. Now, as we're getting cozy with the drink, I think we're going to introduce you and Marie-Charlotte Nouza and her work, which is just over here. Now, we did TransVision 1 last week, and since then, so many people have been commenting about this painting. Now, this painting has been finished this year, and one thing I love about TransVision is that not only do we get, great performances, but we get to interview our artists and find out more about their work. So, welcome, Marie-Charlotte. I'm going to join you. So, come a little bit closer. So, I want to ask you, first of all, where are you from?
France.
Where in France?
South of France, a city, it's called Alès.
Alès. And how long have you been in Berlin?
6 years now.
Oh, I've been here for 7 years, so almost the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And how did you get to Berlin? What brought you here?
I had a friend who was living there, and I just visited her, and I just fell in love with the city, and I just directly knew that I had to come here.
And did you move here from France?
Yeah. I just finished my study in France, and I just directly came to Berlin.
Well, for those who don't know anything about you, what have you studied, and what's your journey been from France to here, and to what you're doing now? What did you study, and how did you make this move
I
to
did
here?
study art in university. So it's more like theory about art, aesthetic and everything. And then I went to what we call Beaux-Arts. It's a fine art school where it was more practice. And I think there that I realized that I really wanted actually to paint and hopefully live from it. And then when I had my diploma there, I just say, okay, now it's time to try. And I just moved to Berlin. Was quite hard because I had nothing here, and I just find a studio and I just painted as much as I could.
Yeah. Well, we've met in the summer last year.
Yeah.
And we had this amazing painting here, which we sold.
Yeah.
And I've been a big fan ever since. And then at the end of last year, we had a performance piece here called Touch Me, which was based on the music of Samantha Fox, and we made a show all about foxes. And then from this, you were inspired to make this painting, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you approached this work from seeing the show, and then what did you do?
Yeah. So I saw the show here, I loved it, and after the show we spoke together, and you told me a little bit more about the show and the story of this fox going at night on the wall in Berlin from west to west and to east.
West to east.
Yeah.
Or east to west.
West to east, yeah. And then at this time I was already doing like little painting of animal at night, like really little format. And I was like, I want to do a fox. I want to do fox in Berlin because most of them were in forest, and I also wanted to do it big for make something more surreal, I would say. And it was quite a challenge because I'm used to do big paint, but never animal like this. And so I actually didn't use brush, but I use this kind of plastic card just to give this feeling of something was done really quick with not so much details, because it's what I wanted.
I have to say that one evening I was stood here at the early hours of the morning, and me and a friend were standing in the doorway, and a fox crossed the street, and as it crossed the street it looked at us, and then it walked off. And then when I saw this painting, it was like you know, like that situation.
Yeah.
And but what kind of you know, kind of impresses me about this painting is its size. You know, and most people have been surprised at how big it is when they actually see it.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I posted a photograph of me stood next to the painting yesterday, and even I was like, you know, surprised about how big it is, and I'm used to seeing it.
Yeah.
But I know that you work on large scale a lot. I mean, the first painting that we've shown here was
the
also
same.
a large one.
Yeah.
I mean, do you especially like working on large format, or what is it? What is it? I mean, you know, I know so many painters, they love to paint on a huge surface.
Yeah.
What is it that that inspired you or to make such a big work?
Yeah, actually, all my first painting was quite big, and I don't know. I had the feeling that you have a stronger impression if it's big, and also, like, you know, spending time and energy on a painting, I want to have the bigger impact as possible. And I had the feeling that to do it really big, that you have to see it, and also I like that you need to take distance from the work to see it, you know. Like, if it's little, you need to be pretty close, but this one you can see it even from the other side of the room.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what I like in the room here is that wherever we are, you see it pretty much, and then it looks like it's like, I mean, for me, the fox is like the witness. You know, it's the keeper of the secrets. It knows everything. But it's like, I like here that it's watching you when you come in. It's watching you when you leave. It's watching the performances, and some sort of it's hypnotizing, right?
Yeah, and I think that the fact you have to watch it from far, it's also you get directly the impression, like the eyes and night, and you are not so focused on details. Like it can happen on little format.
But somebody did talk to me about the color. And I was wondering, how do you get your colors? Like, for example, this red or this orange color. Is it a color that you make? Is it a color that you found? How do you come up with these colors?
So, for example, for all the orange you see everywhere, actually, it's normally in the traditional oil painting, you will all the time paint the canvas with this kind of yellow ochre. And then you totally cover it with painting. It's allow you to have like all the color going well together. I find this technique really interesting, but it's not what I want. So I just use this this ID, and I just find orange who are really flashy. And instead of totally cover it, I just let it appear, because I just like that you can have a strong contrast with the color, and also that it don't look perfect. I don't want everything to be black or so I just try to not use exactly the color as it is exactly. Like this fox, it should not have so much blue at some area or so much strong orange on everything, because I think it gives more contrast.
Well, I absolutely love this painting, and I mean, I would love someone to buy it, but actually I'd be totally happy if it stays here for ages. So I'm going to just make it a huge price, unless I like the person, and then, you know, they can have it for a decent, affordable price. But for now, thank you, Marie-Charlotte. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and now we're going to go over to see Mikey, who was in our Fox show. Mikey Woodbridge is coming our way with Matt Long. Here we go. Let's see.
I thank you for your decision to be here, to be changed in this small way by the voice of this world. The stairway leads to the rooftop, the sun sets, the speaker arrives. It is familiar, this quiet constellation is your family. It is private, this place where you rest your eyes is your home. I thank you for your decision to be home. to be changed by the story that is beginning in the sun, ending in your eyes, and unending in your song.
Branching in ways we don't even know or think possible. Questions, curiosities should never stop being discovered. Guide your inquiry through the ages, wandering celestial bodies. Guide each wave of microscopic pages and radiate each landscape. Synchronize you and I, synchronize all lives. Writing harmonies of nature where all musical spheres harmonize, harmonize, harmonize. Spheres, 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 manipulate your shape, bounce off every wall. Boundaries are beginnings, an entrance to immeasurable. Heavy hands guide your inquiry through the stages of vibrational enfolding. Riding in a wave, aimlessly revolving, clashing perceptions. Synchronize you and I, synchronize verses of time. Writing harmonies of am you. I am you. I am you. You am I.
It is with my pleasure. I would like to introduce Don Aretino, the designer of my dress this evening. We're going to have a little Q&A.
Hi, Don.
Hello.
Welcome to TransVision.
Hello.
I have to say, I just met Don yesterday, and I love him. Don is from Sumatra. Anyone
Yep.
been to Sumatra? Everything fabulous comes from Sumatra, apparently.
Amen.
So I thought it would be nice for Mikey to introduce you, as you have designed so many outfits for Mikey. Maybe you can tell us first a little bit about how you have collaborated until now, or how is it working together?
Don is actually one of my oldest Berlin friends. When I moved here, he was. We met at a party, and I was fresh to Berlin. We met straight away. And then just all the videos that I've done so far, he's always been involved in all of the costumes and designing process. And every time I do a show, he's always like the one to call. He never lets me wear something again. He always has to make no repeats. He's always making something.
I think we should get like a
whipping it out the day before. He's fast.
Let's get a
reliable.
full look at the outfit this evening. Now we've got a couple of mannequins in the studio today, and Don brought yesterday these pieces. Now I think they're absolutely great, of course, but maybe we can have a look at them. So, shall we have a little look about the pieces that you've brought for now? So first of all, bring that one over. Let's have a look at this one. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your work and how you've got to this point?
So I studied fashion design here in Berlin. 2 years. I graduated 2 years ago, and since then I've been working on multiple projects, like most of them with Mikey or with other musicians here in Berlin. Also do some kind of costume works for theater projects. This one is, for example, is from my graduate collection, and this one is from the current collection that's gonna be.
When did you graduate?
2017.
So this one on the right is from then.
Yeah.
And this.
This one is from the current collection.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And why did you bring these two? What made? Because I guess you have like lots of outfits.
Yeah.
And what made you bring these?
I guess it was just to show a lot of range on like what I can do, because with Mikey it's always something that is very majestic, and here you can see like simple form in just like simple colors. Well, this one is not that simple, but you know.
And before you moved to Berlin, where did you live?
Before I moved to Berlin, I was in Düsseldorf for like a year to study like the language course.
Yeah.
And before that, I was in Medan. So I moved to Germany when I was 17.
And how has your work changed since you've been living in Berlin? Has it had an impact in your work, and if so, how so?
Yeah, definitely, because like I didn't really want to study fashion in the first place. I wanted to study fine arts, but somehow I ended up in fashion. And
But do you call it fashion? Is it fashion?
I don't know actually. It's wearable art, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I don't like the word fashion, because what does fashion really mean? You know, I think that everybody is like, presenting a perspective, whether it's through textiles or literature or music or visual arts or so. And I mean, I think I'm so happy to have your work in here for the
Thank
first
you.
time, and we just met yesterday, and I'm
Exactly.
really excited, and so I'm hoping that we're gonna do more things.
Please.
You know. Let me introduce you to Anna. This is Anna. Anna is one of our visual artists, and Anna, you've been working with textiles a lot recently, haven't you?
A little bit, yes, a little bit. I was actually admiring this piece all day today.
Mhm.
And I wanted to ask you, as the fashion is sort of the fundamental non-verbal communication with the world, when did that start for you? Were you making clothes when you were little and then sort of...
No, I was never really making clothes when I was little. Basically, because I didn't really want to study fashion in general. So basically, I started learning how to like sew and like learning forms before I started university. Literally,
okay, nice.
So it's kind of something that's super new, but like I'm one of those person when I try on something, I just kind of like go for it.
You'd like deep dive into it. Yeah. Okay. No, I definitely also had a phase when I like tried to make my clothes in high school and stuff, and I don't know if it worked out, but this is actually really, really inspiring. So I just gonna stop touching it. But
Thank you. No worries.
Great. Well, thanks for being here, Don. I'm really I've become a fan, and I'm really very, very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
But let's go on, shall we? And Anna, as our next performance is going to happen in front of your artwork, would you like to introduce our next performance?
I would love that, actually.
Let me follow you over.
All right. Most of you know the name if you live in Berlin. However, if you don't, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Valerie Renay.
Great.
Thank you, Anna. And I just want to say it's a pleasure to perform in front of your work. It's still here. It's a beautiful thing to have with us here. Thank you so much.
Do we want to take that light off to make it more cozy?
When we used to play under
Shlomi, Moto, Wagner. It's always a great pleasure to perform with you.
Thank you so much.
And now what do you say?
I think it's time for something refreshing.
I need
right?
something lusty, something icy, and
smoothie.
I have just the right thing.
What have you got there, Shlomi?
I've got this.
That's Lusty Ice.
Everyone sucks.
Which is 100% fruit made into an ice cream. Let's see. Oh.
It's vegan.
I've heard it's vegan as well.
So,
Has everybody got one? What have you got over there, Rachel?
I have the mango lips.
Mango lips. What have you got there, Anna?
I have mango as well.
Mango. Oh, well, it's a mango kind
the
of
mango family.
evening. Oh, that looks very attractive,
And
Shlomi.
Shlomi's got the strawberry.
I think I
one.
won. This is strawberry basil apple.
Oh, so it's very healthy.
I don't think I ever heard about this combination, and it's delicious.
Well, we have to thank Lusty Ice for the lovely ice cream. They're keeping us all cool this evening. Now, before we get too excited, we're going to finish off the evening with another performance by the fabulous Dame Leyla, who was actually born in Scotland, if you can believe it, and dragged up in Italy before moving to Berlin to enjoy a life of crime and beauty. Here she is, everybody.
Thank you.
She's going to close off TransVision 2.
Crazy world, full of crazy contradictions, like a child. First you drive me wild, and then you win my heart with your wicked art. 1 minute tender, gentle, then temperamentals as a somber storm. Just when I believe your heart's getting warmer, you're cold and you're cruel, and I, like a fool, try to cope, try to hang on to hope. Crazy world, every day the same old roller coaster ride. But I've got my pride, I won't give in, even though I know I'll never win. Oh, I love this crazy world. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see you next Saturday on TransVision, and thanks for watching. Good night.
Thank you, baby.